Did you guys see this note? It's really interesting what's happened to the WNBA. In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal. They're still going to lose money this year doing the charter flights. I think putting cart before horse is a little bit much, but the Caitlin Clark effect is real. It just is. And the latest sign is that they got 3.44 million people watched the WNBA All-Star Game on ABC, topping the previous record of 1.44 million. So 2 million more people watched the WNBA All-Star Game, in which the WNBA All-Stars beat Team USA. Anyway, 2 million more people watched. And I mean, I can't equate every one of those 2 million people to be because of Caitlin Clark, but are we okay saying 85, 90%? J. Stu, would you say that's a reasonable percentage that she brings 85? Oh, I hear a ding, ding, ding. That's Sam. Okay. Sam watches everything Caitlin Clark does in a not creepy way. Okay. I want to point that out. It's not creepy, respectful way. You just like watching her play basketball. You love watching her play basketball. But do you think that's a fair number? About 85, 90%?
Yeah. I think that's a little low, you know? What's 90% of 3 million?
Well, 2 million. 2 million is the difference, right? So 90% of 2 million.
1.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1.8 million more people watched because of Caitlin Clark. I think that's reasonable.
Now, do we include the fact that they wanted to see how she did against Team USA because they left her off, or is it just the Caitlin Clark is playing, I'm watching factor? Because I actually think that there could be multiple different audiences.
Can I say yes on both?
Sure.
I think yes on both. But I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think most people who tuned in knew that it was Caitlin Clark versus Team USA. I think there's a percentage of people that knew that. I vaguely paid attention to it. As you guys know, I don't like All-Star games. And I knew she wasn't going to participate in the three-point shooting contest, and she said she needed a night off. Okay. And she used that night off, and she played really, really well, and she just facilitated. I mean, to me, that made me want to watch more. And the other part to it was that it was actually a pretty good basketball game. Like, it actually goes counter to what the NBA guys do, where they think people want to watch them dunk and shoot open threes and do crazy stuff, but it's like, yeah, that works with summer camp when kids are 8 and they're sitting around and anyone who dunks becomes their hero. But I think the basketball game kept the audience there. And then the fact that USA Basketball, it's the same coach. And did you hear what's her name? I'm sorry. She's the Minnesota Lynx coach. She's the coach of USA Basketball. I don't know if you guys heard her after the game, but she was asked about roster construction and whether she would make any changes. She said no. But again, she at no point did she say the committee decided. The committee decided. This feels like it was her call. I mean, all of this stuff feels like it's really because at the end of the day, it is her team, and I understand that. Hey, it's your team, and you want it one way. But that was an interesting one.
I do also think Cheryl Reeve.
Cheryl Reeve, yeah. She's the coach of the Lynx, and she's made some comments which I don't think are perceived as negative towards Caitlin Clark. I think she's very negative towards the Caitlin Clark effect.
Yeah.
Okay, the Caitlin Clark effect.
I've been on record that I feel that the Caitlin Clark effect has been in place long before Angel Reese started to do her taunting and pointing at the ring and the "you can't see me" like Caitlin Clark did in previous games. But I also do think that people were curious on how Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese would be as teammates, which was another reason why people maybe tuned into that game. To see how they would work on the same team, considering we feel that they're such adversaries.
Sam, what'd you think in watching?
Yeah, it was a higher scoring game, which, it was kind of looked like an NBA score. Because usually you don't see WNBA games get into like the hundreds, versus the hundreds. Again, though, a kind of a problem, and I think maybe Caitlin Clark is aware of this, is that her three-point shooting has been really bad. So she was 0 for 7 in that game. She only had 4 points. She did have the record with 10 assists for a rookie, which was great. So she's definitely doing the quarterback thing well out there on the floor. She's really seeing the court well. But yeah, I think she needs this 5 weeks off during the Olympics to, first of all, probably for the first 3 to 5 days, just hang out and sleep.
Just get away.
Lay under a blanket, have your phone off, and just put a do not disturb sign on her door.
It is one of those things. Again, like, can you imagine being her?
No. Can you imagine logging into her Twitter and like you couldn't possibly look at all the mentions and just. I think the best thing for her is just to block it out, and she's been doing that, I think, pretty well. But she's tired, physically tired, and probably emotionally and spiritually tired, and just wants to be maybe left alone for a week.
Yeah.
But she's handled it well. I mean, on
No,
the
she has
outside,
handled it well. She has handled it well, and
a grown-up.
And probably the best thing for her is to not go. But I think it's bad for the brand of women's basketball, because otherwise it's just women's basketball. We're dominant. We get it. We go out there, but people will legitimately care about Caitlin Clark.
How about the opposite? I want a poll. Maybe we'll put it out on our Fox Sports Radio Twitter feed. Are you rooting against Team USA women because Caitlin Clark's not?
I can't stand Cheryl Reeve. I think she comes across as, well, I think you know what the word is.
Well, let me answer it. I'm rooting against her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would really
You traitors.
No, I just, again, her whole act, her whole bravado is so, it's not just unbecoming of somebody who's a coach, but your job when you're USA basketball, the coach USA basketball, like, you're a champion of the game. You're growing the game, and there just isn't, like, there's a coach speak code that everyone knows, and she refuses, and it shows her what has to be an insecurity, right? She feels like Shooter McGavin. That's what she feels like. I was too busy winning. Like, all right, dude, but she took the worst team in the WNBA. They're terrible to start the year, and now they're competitive. And, oh, yeah, by the way, she's really good, and people care. They want to watch her play. And when put in a situation where you have better players around her, she becomes a facilitator. Like, I don't understand what her deal is other than some massive, massive insecurity. And as we've said before, she is the embodiment of what's wrong with what's hard with women in the workplace, is that the biggest challenge, biggest hurdle for women to get over in the workplace is other women. Rapid Radio's our instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and a no subscription or no monthly fees. Business owners can keep in touch with up to 200 staff at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free shipping. Our thanks to Rapid Radios, the official communication device of Fox Sports Radio. Let's get to Dan Byer, who will join us, and then I want to talk a little bit about the Patriots this upcoming season.
I'll say one other thing, and I did not watch the WNBA All-Star game, but I did see that Arike Ogunbowale had 34 points, and if there was a name that people felt deserved to be on that was left off solely because of her play, it was Arike Ogunbowale. So maybe Cheryl Reeve also didn't look good that the person that she left off ended up having 34 and
2 times in a row, Dan.
Yes.
I think she was in the Olympics pool to make the team twice, and she got left off twice, and now she's burning Team USA.
Yeah.
You
Now,
gotta get that right, Dan.
Yeah. The one thing about Rika and
Ogunbowale,
thank you, is that she high volume, and her team doesn't win, correct? So it's one of those things. But yes, I mean that's what that game was set up perfectly for. Oh, you don't want to take us. Well, Caitlin Clark shows she can, even shooting poorly, dish it out, and then Arike Ogunbowale shows obviously she can score. And the game wasn't particularly close.